All right, so trade recap of the day. I took this trade about 5 minutes ago, less than 5 minutes ago. So basically, if we're looking daily, on the daily, started printing bullish, this bullish candle here. Overall bullish, but we just swept liquidity here, and we started printing bullish, and daily holds very high volume. So on the 4 hour, we are also moving down. I marked out our 4 hour fair value gap. Same as NQ, we were very bullish, marked out a 4 hour fair value gap. Then stoop down to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we were very bullish. If we go into I marked out our 1 hour fair value gap. Same right here, 1 hour fair value gap. We have a previous day low where price could be trying to head down over to. It's high liquidity line there as well. And then we're also very close to our previous day low here, which is also New York liquidity there. Drop down to the 15-minute. If we drop down to the 15 minutes, so originally I drew my equilibrium from, let me just get rid of this one. I drew my equilibrium from this right here, from the top of the move all the way to the bottom of the move. But then I realized, and I was going to bring us into the 4 hour fair value gap, so I thought maybe there could have been a move there. But then I realized that if we go from the top to this first bottom here, price comes down and price comes back up and retraces into the 0.5, which means we can now move to the next position here. So from this top to this bottom, and I was waiting for price to move into the 0.5, which is exactly what happened here. So same thing for this one. I drew it from the top, but price already moved into the 0.5. So now I started from the bottom move. So from this top to this bottom, waited for price to go into the 0.5. Now it looks like we're going to actually inverse this 15-minute fair value gap here, which would be really nice, and show for more continuations to the downside. So basically, what happened was when market opens, there's my trade, full TP'd and everything. I exited early because my account has 50% consistency rule, and the amount of money I need for payout is only $1,000 max payout, which means I only need a minimum of $100 a day, and so I cashed out at around 280. So that's just a little bit lower than $300, and that's trading day number 1 out of 5 that I need for my first payout. And if I can get $1,000 payout, that will be really nice. And then we'll go from there. So first day, we can see I got plus 200 and something here. Full TP would have been 450 around. I could have also done that, but we'll try for next time. I'll just keeping it safe for the time being. So what happened was price came back up, tapped into our 0.5 off New York Open. New York Open pushed it up, swept out this buy-side liquidity, and then displaced lower and gave me a fair value gap that it had inversed. Same on NQ. NQ had pushed up, okay, swept buy-side liquidity over here while maintaining within a fair value gap, which gives us strong deliveries to the downside, and then also inversed the fair value gap. So I entered off of the close on the inverse on ES because NASDAQ is for my have 1 unit. If we go here on limit, 1 unit, if I would have entered that, I would have like immediately 200, and I didn't want to risk it going up and me blowing my account immediately. So I could have made like 2,000 there, but that's for another day. So yeah. So I entered off of the inverse, and I was targeting. So overall, I would be targeting these lows, but because I didn't need so much capital, I just put it at around a 2-to-1, something like that. But I put if we go on to the 5-minute, I put my break even to right here, the 5-minute fair value gap. So as soon as we tapped into this 5-minute fair value gap, this would have been my break even point, which is exactly what I did. So as soon as price came into my 5 minute for value gap here, I moved my stops to break even, which in theory or overall I ended up pulling out of the trade before price even had an opportunity to reverse. But yeah, I think that's an amazing trade today. I will take that win, and then hopefully we'll be back doing the same trades tomorrow. Maybe the day after, we'll see. But yeah, that's day one. Day 1 out of 5. Shit is starting to get serious.